All right. What is going on out there? Hello, my people in the world of Facebook and YouTube. I am D'Lo, also known as D'Lo the Vet Bro, also known as Lopez the Gunline Chief on the Gunline Podcast. And we are coming to you live right now with some breaking news, y'all. At least breaking to me. I just barely found out about this maybe like 5, 10 minutes ago. So you have to excuse the I just woke up appearance. I was getting ready to take a nap after watching this show on Netflix called Godless. Started falling asleep, started snoring, and the old lady does not like it when I snore, so she kicked me up to the bedroom. As soon as I get to the bedroom, my boy Kowalczyk, my brother from another mother, he hits me up in the group text saying Biden is out. Of course, I have to look it up, and sure enough, Hunt replied with, "Yep, he's watching the news right now." And of course, it's true. Biden is out, y'all. Biden dropped out. That is probably the best decision or the best thing he's done in almost 4 years as being president is dropping out of this race. And let's be realistic, man. Look, I don't care if you're a Biden supporter or if you're a Trump supporter. What was going on there at the Democrat convention is it was elder abuse. Cameron Simmons, I thought he said he wasn't going to drop out. Oh no, my boy, he just said that he's withdrawing. Literally just a few minutes ago, it dropped that he is withdrawing. So now the question is, who is going to step up to the plate for Biden? Who is going to step up to the plate for Biden? There's a lot of speculation that people say that it's going to be Gavin Newsom. There's also saying that Kamala would be on the ticket, taking over for it, with possibly Pete Buttigieg as the vice president. Um, Either way, they're all going to be losing tickets. If I don't see anybody in the Democrat Party that rides the middle line enough to bring in votes from the independents or to take votes from Trump. Because even though Trump says he is a Republican or he's just running on the Republican ticket, he is not a true Republican. You know what I mean? He's, at least in my opinion. So I believe that he's like his own Trump publican, if you can, or if you will. But he's got my vote. I'll tell you that right now. Trump's got my vote. And unless, like I said, they have, tell you what, if the Democrat Party would have not gone so far to the left to the point where they're like tree hugging, save the whales, my pronouns are, and would have sent up somebody like Tulsi Gabbard, kept her in the party, she would have a viable campaign against Trump. It would have been good back in 2020 when she had tore down Kamala, but because she was not part of the Clinton conspiracy or Clinton train, they called her a Russian fucking spy. You know what I'm saying? Why? Simply because Tulsi was out of line by telling Hillary that what they were doing to Bernie was wrong. So either way, thank God, let that old man Biden live his last few months enjoying his goddamn grandchildren, man. It's about that time. I'm really happy for him. Granted, he was a piece of shit politician at the end of the day, according to everything I've heard regarding, like, his laws. He was just somebody who rode the gravy train, said what needed to be said, and was getting paid and paid and paid. The old man has dementia. He won't even remember he ran for president. You know what I mean? He won't remember. So either way, tell me what y'all think, man. For those that are out there, what's on y'all mind? Who do you think is going to take over for the Democrat Party as far as leading in their campaign? I'm going to go ahead and turn on my YouTube TV here on my handy dandy phone and follow all the news right there. All right, so let's go to the most left-leaning one. Biden withdraws from 2024 race, endorses Harris. There it is. He's endorsing Harris to fucking take over. Wow. Well, that's not bueno. He's going to endorse Kamala Harris as the president. That's a losing ticket already because we all know Kamala is corrupt, and she blew her way literally to the position where she was at. The fact that she got the vice presidency was simply because she was a black woman. That's it. And actually, she's an Indian woman. But hey, that's I like that camel toe Harris. I don't know that I want to picture a camel toe on her though. Ugh. That's just more like a moose knuckle, dog. That bitch got a moose knuckle, not a camel toe. And we all know, since I am just talking politics here, I'm not going to get pushed through the YouTube sphere or Facebook sphere. That's if they don't even just stop the stream on Facebook. But either way, yeah, thanks for being in here. And let's see if maybe more people will jump in. Kamala Harris, I can't believe it. So is it going to be Kamala and Pete Buttigieg? I mean, they'll do it just because it'll secure the gay vote too, supposedly. You know what I'm saying? Hey, for those that just jumped in here, go on, do me a favor, hit that like button on the YouTubes, and tap on in. Who do you think is going to take over for Kamala? I mean, not Kamala, for Biden, and who's going to be? Well, he's already endorsed Kamala, but they still got to go through the whole that shit, right? What's that shit called? Their DMC for the nomination, right? So I'm wondering is the rest of the DNC or Democrat Party gonna go ahead and follow suit? That's gonna be the question right there. Who is likely? Who do you guys think, if there is anybody possible in a Democrat Party, who is likely to give Trump a run for his money? Because, I mean, honestly, let's be real. Nobody's going to vote for Kamala simply because her policies are great or she has great ideas. It's going to be the anti-Trump vote. You know what I mean? That's all it's going to be. It's going to be the anti-Trump vote, just like it was with. I mean, I'm not saying that Trump's was just the anti-Clinton vote, but I think for a lot of us it was. Well, we'll see what happens, man. I mean, we will see what happens. I think that maybe Gavin Newsom will probably try to throw his name in the ring. I mean, they're both from California. I'm from California, born and raised, but I'm not like those two overreaching, power hungry, overstepping their boundaries type politicians. I'm not even a politician. I'm barely into politics. So I still want to know, what do y'all think? So if you think it's Camel Toe, do you think Camel Toe's going to have a chance with them, Cameron? What do you think? Let's see. I'm going to go check. I'm going to go ahead and put on some news here, see what's going on, see if they stop me. Let's see. And if y'all can see in the back, I apologize. It's my son playing Plants vs. Zombies. Hopefully you guys can't hear it, but he's back there playing his game. So let's see what the CNN have to say. Biden out of the race, endorses Kamala Harris to be the nominee. Nah, Trump got this in the bag. I mean, I would like to think so too, man, honestly, but we know how the government is, and those that pull the strings are that they can make it say that it's like a super tight race, and then all of a sudden, there's going to be some kind of glitch, and all of a sudden, I mean, let's be real. How did Biden get all those votes, bro? I do think that there are a lot of people out there that are Trump supporters, that are closeted Trump supporters, especially within the minority. What's that word I'm looking for? The minority types of people like myself. Except I'm outspoken. I'll say I'm voting for Trump, even if I am Latino and been called whitewashed or a sellout. I'm sorry, I just believe in common fucking sense. But because I'm not voting for, or I'm not supporting candidates or I'm not supporting a Democrat Party, which I don't agree with, because I mean, honestly, being Latino, I grew up with conservative values. That's in our culture. And for some reason, our my people have been bamboozled to go ahead and just believe what they're told as far as like the Democrats. But let's see. Oh God. See, when I start hearing names like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Boebert, that's the that's the far right of the Republican Party. That's what I think when I hear Kamala Harris, when I hear, the majority of the left. That's how far to each side of the spectrum they are. Oh man, who else? Come on, people, let's get up in here. There's probably just not going to be enough fellas here to have a conversation. But I mean, I thank you, Cameron, for hanging out here with me, man. What do you think? What are your thoughts, bro? Hit me up. Hit it up in the comments. Ma. All right, sorry about that, people. I got someone in the background. My son again. So, what do y'all think, man? Who is going to run with Kamala if the party decides to go with her? I'm looking at the news over here. It's not really giving me much. You know what? Who I think she's going to run with? Hakeem Jeffries. Hakeem Jeffries from Hey, what's going on, Kramer? What's cracking? I think that Hakeem Jeffries is going to be her running mate just because he's got the name uh, recognition right now. He's the hotness within the new what's it called? Within the Democrat Party. Did they say why he dropped out the race? Well, I'll go ahead and pull that up right now. Let me go ahead and read it. Biden, thank God for the great mighty Google. Biden letter of withdrawal. So here it is. All right, let me go ahead and share this with y'all so y'all can see it with me because I don't have the greatest reading abilities according to some of my friends. Let's see. A smart decision for a couple of reasons, Mike. First of all, by encouraging donors to give to his vice president, it is intended to I don't know if you guys can see that there, but it says, my fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. False. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, in lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We've provided critically needed care to 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy. And we revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude for those, or to all those, who have worked so hard to see me re-elected. I want to thank you, Vice President Kamala Harris, for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. And let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have. There is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. So I wonder who wrote that for him. Because honestly, old Biden, All he has to do is just scribble his name on there, or we can have Bernie's ass. But you know, we can sit here and try to break this down. It has the strongest economy in the world. I mean, sure, I'll play your game. We also have the highest inflation going on right now. We are paying out of our ass to, for gasoline. What's the point of, making better money when we are paying out of our ass? Nothing's changed. I mean, what's the point of having higher wages when we still have higher prices? It's like nothing's changed, bro. So, anywho, we made investments in rebuilding our nation. Sure. And lowering prescription drug costs. I think the only prescription drug I ever heard him talk about was what happened with, with the diabetic medication. Sure. I mean, that's what he talked about the most. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. I think it might be, what's Kramer got? I think it might be best that he stepped down, saying he needs to put his agenda to the country first now. That I can agree on. I think honestly it's best that he steps down because he's already old as fuck and he shouldn't have been there in the first place. I will continue to say that in order for you to be a president of the United States, there has to be a cap in your age of no older than 62 years old by the time you are elected. That way, if you do serve 2 terms, you are out by the age of 70. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just thinking about the age of retirement, as they want people to retire at the ages of like 65 to 70. Honestly, I still think that's way too high. However, you do get some experience with that age. So, and I think you got to be 35 in order to be the president, or 34, 35. Shit, I mean, that's kind of young as fuck, wet behind the ears. But however, if you can get the job done, get the job done. I think a good age is, maybe like around fucking 45, 50. That's good prime age. So let's see. Kramer says, all right. It's like with the enlistment minimum age and max requirements. 100%. 100%. If if there's a minimum age be a to be elected the president, there should be a maximum age. And you know what? Not just across the presidency, but I think it should be across all politics. Whether it's your state representative, your senator, your freaking your governor, your anything, your POTUS, any cabinet members, all that. I believe there needs to be an age cap that you cannot be, and not only just the age cap, but there needs to be a how long you can serve for. 8 years. Make it 8 years for all of them. If you can only do 2 terms as a president, totaling 8 years, you should only be able to do 8 years. Same for any political office. Because I don't know if y'all noticed that fucking whenever there's some kind of a Congress or a meeting or anything that has to do with politicians, it just looks like if you're hanging out at AARP conference or if you've gone to an old folks home. You know what I'm saying? They need to get out of there. We need to just alt control delete and fucking restart. You know what I mean? Delete cookies, y'all. Delete cookies. Time to start anew with these fellas. So, anyways, what else do we got going on out there? What else do y'all think, man? What is on your mind? What do y'all think? Let's go see what's on the YouTube sphere. What are people talking about? I know there's going to be people talking about it and reacting to Biden dropping out. So I'll react to them. Hey, fuck it. Biden drops out. Let's see what comes out on YouTube. All right. Yep. I figured when he went to get diagnosed, or that he was diagnosed with the Rona, I thought that, that was going to be his excuse to bow out gracefully with the doctor said that I shouldn't be doing this anymore because it's bad for my health. But, being that he actually is standing down on his own, I can respect that, man. Do I respect the man? No, I respect the office, though. Just like when I was in the military, there were times that I did not respect the person wearing the rank. However, I still respected the rank. So same thing with the office of the presidency. While I may not respect who is in office, I will respect the office of the presidency. So let's see what we have here. What is this? Hopefully they don't. Oh, okay, that's not anything right there. I'm trying to find something that we can watch here, fellas. Cameron says. Uh, Cameron says Biden should have resigned with how he handled that. Well, bro, you are fucking preaching to the choir on that one, my man. I think anybody that served in the military, that served out there, is fucking 100% with that statement right there. Biden not only should have he should have been fucking he should have been impeached, thrown out the office for the way he handled Afghanistan. There was like basically he just said, "Here, Taliban, you can have all the shit. We don't need it. We don't want it." You know, it's like what the fuck, dude. Honestly, I hope this gives Robert Kennedy a push in the runnings. You know what? If the Democrats were to push for Kennedy to come to embrace him into the party, I think that one would be a hell of a fucking neck to neck run, you know. So yeah, man. As far as Afghanistan dropping out, that's a very sore one for me because dude, I spoke to my Terp after he, well, he was already here, but when all that crap was going on out there, my Terp, for those that don't know what a Terp is, my interpreter that I had while I was in Afghanistan. He's out here and lives out in the States now. However, like, he was really worried about the Taliban taking over again because he still had family out there and has family. So, he was like, is there anything I can do? What's possible? And dude, just as a soldier, just as a former service member, as a veteran, the way he handled that was incredibly retarded. There was just incredible retardedness. He just pulled us out. At least Trump said that he had a plan to, what's the word? They had mile markers. You know what I mean? They had fucking certain goals that needed to be met in order for us to pull out. However, I already know that whoever would have pulled this, um, I know well enough that no matter who would have been the president to withdraw us out of Afghanistan, there was going to be some controversy. There was going to be some controversy, but the way that he did it is completely out of line and out of hand. Kramer, we all know that the withdrawal could have been handled better. 100%, bro. 100 fucking %. God damn it, a PFC. I could have tasked the PFC and been like, hey man, I want you to go ahead and plan me a drawdown of how to get out of Afghanistan, and try to leave with some kind of honor from there. So it doesn't look like we just wasted 20 fucking years of our time, of our money, but most specifically, or most heartfelt, are soldiers and sailors and Marines and airmen. Their blood that was spilled. You know what I mean? Because ultimately, to me personally, it feels like it's a slap in the fucking face that we just handed it back over to them. Like, here you go. And then they say we don't negotiate with terrorists, and we call the Taliban terrorists. But there we are negotiating with them. And anyway, it's just one of those that's really fucking aggravating and irritating. Fuck, man. How do y'all feel about it? Well, I already know how Kramer feels about it, and it's just fuck, man. Cameron, he left behind so much equipment. 13 service members died, and Biden called it a success. Bro, I was watching the Republican National Convention, and when I saw the family members of the 13 fallen on that stage, that shit broke my heart, bro. Because one thing as a service member, or as a veteran who has lost friends and family out there, it it trips me out that it hurts us, when we lose a battle or somebody that we were with. But it hits different because at least personally, I've never gone to the funeral of a fellow service member who died in combat with us. You know what I mean? The fucking rem ceremonies were enough, but just to see the looks on their faces, and there's just no way that what can you tell somebody, aside from the usual, I'm sorry for your I'm sorry, or I offer my condolences. I'm sorry for your loss. It's just something that is horrible, man. Kramer, there's blood in the sand, literally and figuratively. Bro, it was a waste of fucking time. It was 20 years wasted. We should have pulled out of there a lot sooner than we did. Once I think that once they had Bin Laden and they supposedly, took him out, that's it. All right, hey, we finished our mission. But that's the whole problem with these wars that they started. These regime change wars. There was no end state. There was no goal at the end of the fucking day. We went to Iraq, another wasted. You know what? If there was a theme song for the GWAT, I would definitely say it was Freddie Fender's "Wasted Days and Wasted Nights," because that's all that it really was. In my opinion, all right, in my opinion, I'm sure others have their own opinions. I'm not gonna lie. There were times that when I was on mission and we were out there seeing the little Haji kids out there, we wanted to help them out. You know what I mean? We were out there we really wanted to be there to assist them. But those little Haji kids would flip on you in a fucking heartbeat. How many times when I remember that, they'll be like, Mista, Mista, $1 Mista. And be like, hey, I ain't got no cash, bro. And they'll be like, oh, fuck you, America. Fuck you, America. Like, dude, like in a heartbeat, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. Let's see. They never know when to stop, know when enough is enough. Exactly, dog. I mean, but they're quick to send us out there. They're quick to, and you know what? Me as a soldier, hey, my job was to go out there. I wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to go to war. You know what I'm saying? I joined in 2004. The war had already kicked off. I knew what I wanted to do. I specifically joined a combat arms job because I wanted to be in combat. And they say be careful what you wish for. Ain't that the motherfucking truth? But yeah, at the end of the day, I'm proud of my service. I'm proud of what we attempted to accomplish. However, it's still not going to take away from the fact that it was wasted days and wasted nights out there. We did nothing except what we killed Saddam. That was it. And again, there was no end state. What was the end state? What was the commander's intent? What was the whole fucking goal of going to Afghanistan and going to fucking Iraq? I don't know. But now, now we got to worry about who's going to be the new head of state or new what's the word? Who's going to be the new commander in chief? You know what I mean? And don't get me started with Pete Buttigieg as a veteran. Yes, he's a veteran. Thank you for your service. But don't buy into the fucking hype. Civilians out there, if there's any civilians listening to this, they're going to tell you how much of a veteran, let's say Pete Buttigieg runs, that he was with SEAL Team 6 or whatever, that he was attached to a SEAL. Look, he was a lawyer, and he just happened to be in a unit that was attached, I guess, to the SEALs. But it ain't like that fool was out in sector or out on mission. He didn't do shit, all right? He didn't do shit. Just like Ron DeSantis. When he's talking about all his high speed, I'm a veteran. Yeah, you're a veteran, bro. Yeah, you deployed to a combat zone. Yes, that doesn't make you a combat veteran. It just makes you a veteran who deployed to a combat area or to a hostile environment. But it doesn't mean that you were in combat. If you were a paper pusher out in country, ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Thank you for your service. But don't go trying to hype your service up like you did something. If you were a fueler, dog, you were a fucking glorified gas station attendant. It is what it is, y'all. Anywho, but yeah, it's got me worrying of who will now run for president and how and what their foreign policy is going to look like. I mean, should I really be worried, or does Trump have this in the bag? Y'all let me know. I mean, I know where Cameron sits at. Cameron said that we eat. we got this in the bag already. So let's see what is cracking. Let's see. I'm trying to find. Here we go. All right, let's see what the news says. Let's see if I don't get hit for this.
The first African-American Asian woman vice president. Picking up on Ed's comments, I do think there has been a very fulsome conversation within the Democratic establishment in recent weeks about if we reach this point where Joe Biden decided to step aside from this race, what's next?
God, I hate that cunt,
I actually think that's what has somewhat delayed.
And I really don't say hate very often. Cunt, I say all the time. But hate, I don't use that very often.
Belief or agreement on a plan B is maybe what delayed this decision somewhat. You have many in the party who want an open primary. They want to hear from the other, what they believe stars of the Democratic Party, whether it's a Governor Shapiro in Pennsylvania or Governor Whitmer in Michigan, many others, Raphael Warnock in Georgia.
I'm waiting to see if my homeboy Hunt's going to jump on.
But then you also have a very strong,
because I know, I mean, he's not a Kamala supporter either, but he said he would hold his nose if it came down. Can you guys hear it, by the way? For those that are here, can you guys hear it?
Be a stalwart surrogate for President Biden and for this administration, has been a partner in governing, and has been somebody who has really built a profile around a couple of issues that we know are going to be very engaging this time around. The issue of abortion, which she is probably the foremost spokesperson within the Democratic Party right now, and also issues of consequence to young voters like climate change and student debt relief. She went on a very much ballyhooed
Kramer, I don't like her because how does she have medical degrees and medicine still costs a fuck? She has medicine degree? I thought she was an attorney, dog.
Just the obvious fact. Let's just say
she a doctor too?
The most reliable part of the Democratic voting coalition, and I think that any attempt to pass over Kamala Harris, who has been a very strong and very representative vice president, I think will be received poorly. I know that maybe the polling says something mixed about that, but I do think a party that has historically had a tortured history.
See, and here's my problem.
Recognizing and representing Black voices.
See, there you go. It's all about the fucking optics and the race of a person, their ethnicity. That should not fucking matter. What should matter is who is qualified for the office. You know what I'm saying?
I would not be surprised if you see many other Democrats.
Hey Kramer, can you hear it though? Are you able to hear it? Or is it too low? Should I put the volume back up?
Has endorsed Vice President Harris. I imagine you'll see many folks do that. I think a name to watch, a person to watch in terms of how she will treat the news of the Harris endorsement would be Speaker Emeritus Nancy Pelosi, somebody who recent reporting has suggested
I'll fix that
process if Biden were to step aside, as opposed to immediately.
All right, is that better right there, or is that too loud?
Of Kamala Harris. So there is a lot here, and I believe the next few days will be of great consequence to figure out whether or not Kamala Harris's endorsement from Joe Biden will transfer to the rest of the party.
All right, Joel Payne, CBS News political contributor. It is still early here in the East, even earlier in the West, and we are going to continue
how
to
early
cover
is it?
President Biden's decision to step down for re-election for President of the United States. I'm going to hand over our coverage now to CBS Evening News anchor Nora O'Donnell in Washington. Nora?
Christine Johnson, thank you. We are coming on the air at this hour as President Joe Biden has decided to drop out of the 2024 race for the White House on Sunday, just a short time ago, releasing a statement to the American people saying over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation with the strongest economy in the world.
It would have been more beneficial.
But he has decided to instead endorse his vice president, Kamala Harris, in this effort to try and defeat Donald Trump. I want to bring in Margaret Brennan, who is the host of Face the Nation, as well as Robert Costa, who's with me as well. And Margaret, I understand you've been speaking with some people inside the Biden camp.
We have, because President Biden made this decision in a very small group of advisors. They kept this very, very quiet. And from the calls I've made so far,
like we haven't been told about this shit.
To say, please don't make this about the process. Focus on the legacy of Joe Biden, that he made this decision.
All right,
made this decision in what he viewed.
this is just coming across on social media right now, breaking news, and we'll address the country later this week
Y'all go ahead and
next
watch this real
steps he
quick. I
intends
gotta
to
go get my
fulfill
coffee.
the
I'll be right
remainder
back.
of his term. Kristen, your reaction to this bombshell
And
news?
it's from him on.
I was just told in my ear, and that's what's breaking on the wires
No,
right now.
I think, I think it's an enormous opportunity for our party. And I always think it's really important to have two strong people in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party to have a strong debate and let's figure out who's best to run this country. At the end of the day, we are all Americans and we want to move forward. I hope that my party, the Democratic Party, can use this time as an opportunity to have a debate and have somebody emerge as a candidate who can go toe-to-toe with former President Trump in a productive way so that everybody in this country has a decision to make and they look at it and they can decide and they want to know how they want to move forward.
So we've heard 37 Democrats come forward calling on him to step aside. The money people have made it clear that they're done giving money to him as a candidate. Is it a surprise that he has reached this decision?
No, I'm just wondering what's in it for him. He's facing a
All right,
lot
so
of
what do
trouble.
y'all
He
think,
needs
man? What
to
did I
stay in
miss?
office because of Hunter, because of his own brother. So I'm just curious what was the final breaking point that got him to agree to this? That's what I am most curious about at this point.
And I take it you're not entirely surprised, or maybe you are surprised.
I'm not. I mean, like, if you talk to all my friends who are working on the campaign, this is not a conspiracy. Like, he has been thinking about, like, what's best for the country. This is a man who's served for so many years.
Yeah.
He's not going to stay in office to help his son. Like, I mean, he's not weaponizing the judiciary. I mean, he's just not. Like, he's a man who's served this country.
I wanted
and
to tell you I'm
sitting
an
with his
idiot
wife
savant. I
and
found an
his
effective
closest
way
advisors and
to
people
kill
that
the
he trusts and
deficit
really
not hurt
working
America.
this through. I'm not making it
Go
up.
ahead and
He's been
type it
having
up in here, man. Let us
conversations
know.
with Nancy Pelosi and Hakeem Jeffries and really thinking
The
this
fact that
through.
you
This
even
is
know
not a
what
surprise to me that this, I mean, we all knew a
you know
decision
what?
was going to
I'm
come,
gonna
excuse me,
hold
at
on
some
that one,
point.
Kramer.
And
Let me just
so,
say,
no,
Kramer,
it's
you
not a
made it very
surprise,
easy for me
given
to
that
clown you right now, but I'm not going to. But you did make it pretty easy right now, bro. Oh my God. Let's see here. Da, da, da. All right, fellas. What else? So, anyways, who else is up in here? Tap in, tap in, tap in. Let's talk. Let's chop this. Let's see. Go ahead, Chief. It's all fun and jokes. No hard feelings. Oh, I'm tracking, baby. I'm tracking. It's just, I'm trying to change. I was gonna say you could take the savant part out of it, but it's all gravy, baby. Oh man, oh man. Kamala Harris. Can y'all imagine the president, Kamala Harris? Honestly, I don't believe she deserves the honor of being the first woman president. Like, I still believe that should go to Tulsi, but that's because I am a huge Tulsi supporter, and I hope that she does find a place in in Donald Trump's cabinet. Hey, since we're on Trump's topic right now, have y'all seen the new conspiracy about somebody being on that water tower? Have y'all heard about that, about the water tower now, that somebody was supposedly up there? As a Call of Duty player, and any other Call of Duty player will tell you, if there's a water tower in that map, you climb it. You climb to the top. And, that's where you're going to get the best vantage point. But I'm just saying, how is it that now supposedly there was somebody up there? It's like the grassy knoll all over again. It's like 1963 all over again, man. Not that I was alive back then. I wasn't born until 14 years later. But I'm just saying that's what it's starting to sound like. Look, I'm not going to say that there was another shooter. I'm just saying that there was more than one person involved. Because I'm still holding on to, check this out. I was thinking about this, man. That kid, first of all, he can't have been that much of a bad shot, bro. He must have got some training somewhere. Because for somebody who supposedly can't shoot, but he got a damn dome shot, all right? He got a damn near a dome shot. If he wouldn't have turned his head, it would have been a dome shot. He got that with fucking iron sights, with an M4 rifle. Oh, I'm sorry, AR-15 at about 150 meters or same. And Not only that, he had to aim. Let's say he was aiming. He had his sight picture, right? Then he heard the fucking cop. So he turned around and pointed his weapon at the cop, right? Then he came back and had to get his sight picture again with iron sights, y'all. Because I did not hear anything about him having any kind of fucking optic on there. With iron sights, he was able to squeeze off a round that damn near domed him at 100 and let's say, I don't know how far away did they say he was? I forget how many meters he was. I'm just saying, you know, it don't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me because I've known soldiers who couldn't zero their fucking weapon, you know, at 25 meters. Look, we're taught to shoot center mass, right? When we're at the range, we're taught to shoot center mass. There's people that can't even hit center mass, let alone a dome shot. Let's say 175 meters. 175 meters. You know, that does it make sense to you? Because it doesn't make sense to me. To me, I didn't see that AR or that fucking have any optics on it. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I didn't see it having optics. No ACOG, no nothing on there. You know, even if he had the fucking the 68 with the lollipop on it, he ain't gonna hit it. Not a dome shot like that. Not being somebody who sucked at shooting and couldn't make it on his high school, you know, firing squad or whatever the hell it was. What do y'all think? All right, so I'm trying to see what the distance was. A few hundred feet. What does a few hundred translate into damn meters? So between 120 to 150. You still telling me that he hit a dome shot from that distance, being a shitty marksman? I don't think so. I don't think so. So, anywho, anybody else got it? What do we want to talk about, fellas? It's an open forum.
Evidence showing that he was not able to.
So who would be next then, if Vice President Kamala Harris isn't the next nominee? Who is next? What names have you heard, if any?
Well, it's an open convention. So let me just step back and say, since the debate, you have earned media and paid media. Earned media is the media coverage that is done. And the entire month of July has been this divide. You're looking at the entire month of August to be who is the nominee going to be. If she doesn't pull the first ballot, then the superdelegates can come in. And that's the case that you have an open convention and you have a lot of names like Bashir, you have the Pennsylvania governor, but they have virtually no name ID nationwide. So you're going to be picking a team of people, or at least a vice president that people don't know who they are. And that's going to be an entire lost month of August of driving the message of what makes them different from the team of Trump and Vance going forward. So these are dramatic developments, and these are just huge things. It also sends a signal around the world of consistency that will make the Wall Street on Monday really go up and down quite a bit. Inconsistency is not good for the system.
And
oh man, what a fucking shit show we got, right? What a shit show. All right. There's all two of us in here. Thank you, Kramer, and whoever the other person is. Thanks for kicking it here with me. What a shit show, right? What? It's great that he dropped out. I'm happy that he dropped out. Now let's hope that I mean, I don't think that there's anybody viable against Trump. I really don't. If there is, if you guys think that there's somebody that can go ahead and give Trump a run for his money, let me know. I would really want to know who y'all think will be somebody that gives him a run for his money. Because honestly, I don't think anybody can. Ah, damn it, Hunt. I really needed you on here with me today. we'll go on for about another 10 minutes, and then I'll call it a day. I was actually going to work on a freaking reaction video for y'all today. So I'm going to go ahead and once I finish this, I'll go ahead and work on that reaction video, have it ready for you all. And then, yeah. I hope that whoever they select, it's basically out of somebody who actually knows what they're doing versus just fucking selecting them because of their race or their sex or their gender, or just, you know, to check a fucking block. We've had enough of that, and we see where that led us with this crazy ass fucking vice president that we had. Honestly, what did she do for the 3.5 years that she was there? Can somebody tell me what she has done? Oh man, let's see. There's a veteran on YouTube that remixes our cadences into some good music. Jonathan Fleming, I think you would like his cadences. I have to check him out. I'll check him out. You know, I'm just wondering, man, who's gonna take over? The world is watching. At the end of the day, the world is watching. And I mean, is this going to be a situation that since they know that he is dropped out, he's not all there cognitively, is this the time that he can go ahead and fucking, or not him, but that any of our adversaries could take advantage of? Because that's what I would be thinking right now. Honestly, if I was like an adversary to the US, or if I was, you know, just let's say I'm Russia, let's say I'm China, North Korea, you know, what would be going through my head right now? I'd be like, looks like there's a bit of some bullshit going on in the US. They're too busy worrying about their drama. Let me go ahead and start doing some of my own shenanigans. I'm just saying. But then I'm also of the thought process that we shouldn't be involving ourselves in other people's bullshit. So, but that's just me. That is just me. Let's see what you got, Kramer. Kennedy is the only one that I see doing it. It's going to be a big ordeal for us in the rest of the world. I agree. I think that if fucking the Democrats were to embrace RFK Jr., but they're not going to, because he's not a hamster in that wheel. You know what I mean? He doesn't just go along with what they're saying. Same as Tulsi. You know, she doesn't just fucking rubber stamp anything that they say. She or he also, and they call him a loon, a conspiracy theorist. So that's the same thing they did to Ron Paul, you know? Exactly. He doesn't fit the bill. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. And being that since he doesn't fit that bill, you know, they're going to want somebody that is going to be pushing the same agenda that they have for years and years and years, which is basically keep fucking over the country. Can we get Bill back, please? Clinton? I don't think there's interns that are willing to, you know, smoke that sausage, if you will. You know, I would take OW back. You know what I mean? That's what I would like back. Granted, he was the most articulate president in the world. Even he bowed out. Once he was done with his fucking presidency, OW just said, I'm chucking deuces. I'm going to Texas. I'm going to live my life. We don't even hear about him. He bowed out gracefully. Unlike, you know, let's say fucking Obama. You know what? It wouldn't surprise me, bro. It wouldn't surprise me if they try to do a fucking Kamala and Michael Obama ticket. You know, because right now they would use the excuse that she's not politically savvy enough. But if they put Michael Obama with Kamala Harris, That might be a run for their money, and then also in 28. I'm just saying. Just my thoughts. Just my thoughts. What do y'all think out there, man? I know there's only 3 of us in here right now, which I appreciate all of us being in here, y'all. I appreciate the support. This right here, this engagement, the support, I love it. And you guys are real ones. I know it's Sunday. People are out there with their families, hanging out, you know what I'm saying? Just got back from church maybe, or out there fishing. I get it, y'all. I get it. So I appreciate, you guys could be anywhere doing whatever y'all want, but you're here hanging out with old Chief here. So I appreciate it. As an American, I feel conflicted. Here's why. I do want a president that's old school America, or do I embrace the changes with the next generation of presidents? So here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with continuing to evolve as a country. Remember, America is an experiment, right? So there's nothing wrong with evolving. But the problem is don't force shit down our throat. You know what I mean? You can't force evolution. That's how you end up with fucking man-bear pigs. You know what I mean? You gotta let it just take its time, take its course. But when you're forcing shit, you cause too much of a fucking pushback. You know? You gotta do, one drop at a time on a rock will eventually create a hole. That's all I'm saying. But when you try to fucking just dump a whole bucket on a rock, it's just gonna splash all over the place. You know what I'm saying? In my head, it makes sense, y'all. In my head, it makes sense. So I can't wait to hear what old Sleepy Joe says when he talks. All right, let's see. Let's go back to the Fox News and see what they say in there. Man, my Truth Social is fucking blowing up right now, y'all. Damn.
Here from some of the concerns from
senior
Democrats on Capitol Hill
that
this would drag down the down ballot races in the Senate and the House here. Rich, I got a couple questions for you, though, as well. And you're a student of American history in general. No one gives up power easily when they're at the top. And so in some Democratic circles on social media as well, I mean, Biden is literally being lauded as an American hero for doing this, for salvaging Democrats' chances in November. So I thought that was really interesting. But you were alluding to the fact that, Kamala Harris as the nominee is not a guarantee, that there is now an open season on the Democratic Party, so to speak, about who they might choose. And of course, we just had the running mate decision on Monday for Trump and J.D. Vance. When you're talking about Vice President Kamala her own running mate going forward into November. And I just have to note, we're about an hour this news dropped. Haven't heard from Harris yet. Do you find that? Do you find that suspect?
Love to hear that.
I think that she's probably cuddling with her advisors and they're trying to figure out what to do. But it's interesting that Joe Biden immediately endorsed Vice President Harris. Now, you may say, well, of course, that's his vice president. But back in 1968, Lyndon Johnson did not support Hubert Humphrey for the nomination. He stayed neutral. And more recently, in 1988, when George H.W. Bush was running for the nomination, Ronald Reagan stayed neutral in the entire primary battle. And when he finally endorsed Vice President Bush, he actually mispronounced his name. So there is precedent for a president not supporting the vice president, saying something to the effect of, well, it's up to my political party to decide who the nominee is going to be. But in terms of who potentially, if she does win the nomination, who her potential run mate, again, I point to those 2 governors. I point to Roy Cooper in North Carolina. The reason I point to him is, first of all,
I'll be right back.
Nominate somebody who's a Southern governor or Southern anything for the Democratic Party, you immediately inoculate yourself from criticism that candidate is too liberal. How could somebody be too liberal if they're nominated, if they win an election and re-election as governor of a state like North Carolina? That's why Bill Clinton, who had won in Arkansas 6 times, Jimmy Carter, who had won the governorship of Georgia. That's why they were not. That's why, as hard as it was for folks like Gerald Ford and George H.W. Bush to portray them as too liberal, it just did not work. I think he's somebody very much to look at, and I think he's somebody who would be very dexterous on the political, on the national campaign sweepstakes.
President, we'll see
yes
if she has that enough power there to become on the ticket and maybe who should decide. So there's a lot of different puzzle pieces left to fit in here. All right, Rich Fogelday, thanks again.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
All right, thank you so much. All right, let's continue on here on Live
Oh,
Now
right.
from Fox as we're covering it all in full here on Live Now from Fox. A couple Live Now looks, and of course, in Delaware, where the location of the president is, recovering there from that positive COVID test, but also just outside of the vice president's residence there, the Naval Observatory in Washington.
All right. Well, it looks like I don't know, something must have occurred. However, my internet's tripping. For some reason, my Wi-Fi's not my Wi-Fi, but my. It's not supposed to be on Wi-Fi. Oh Lordy, he finally couldn't see it. I know, right, Doc K? Thank God. Thank God he is gone. Oh my God, I've been talking about this for about an hour now, and thank you for showing up, by the way, Doc K. Thank goodness. But now the problem is we got Kamala. You know what I mean? We finally got Biden now. Now we got to deal with Kamala, and who knows who the hell she's gonna pick to be its running mate. I don't know her pronouns. Oh, don't worry. It's Doc. It's Sunday. The fact that you even tuned in, I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I'm just happy that he's gone. You know what I'm saying? Well, she's definitely the biggest clown. I'll tell you what. She is definitely the biggest clown in that circus. Because I just worry if they decide to steal this election, or, you know, some kind of glitch in the matrix that she ends up winning, whoever her running mate is. What scares me is she's gonna follow along with the same old I try. She's gonna follow with the same old routines, and you know, it worries me as far as like where they're gonna continue with the whole warmongering out there in Ukraine, and they're gonna go ahead and then start beating those war drums again, you know. And as veterans, you know, that's what I think the biggest thing on our mind is, where are they going to send our fellas and our ladies to next? You know, it's not going to be, is it going to be worth sending our people out there to die? So anyway, that's just my biggest thing. You know, that's my biggest worry. So how you doing today, Doc? What's cracking with you? How's your Sunday going? Because as for me, it is hot as balls out here in San Antonio, and goodness, it just got hotter hearing these goddamn news that Biden is Audi 5000. Now, again, as a Trump supporter, it would have been best for Trump to stay in, because I mean, not Trump, but for Biden to stay in. However, the fact that he is out of the race, I'm happy for him. He needed to go. But now it's just going to make that vacuum in there within the Democrat Party of who's going to step up next. Are they going to have an open convention even though he does endorse her? Pretty good, just hanging out with my little dude. It is hot. Yes, it is. It is hot Tua. It's not hot Tua. It's hot Tua out here. But I love Texas because I love my freedom. But yeah, dude, it's crazy. Oh man, you know what's funny is I was gonna do a freaking reaction video. I was getting ready to go take a nap, and then my homeboy hits me up, hey, Biden dropped out. And I'm like, no fucking way. Sure enough, I go and check it, and bam, he is Audi 5000. Fucking awesome sauce. Oh man. Hey, you know, don't say it's hot too much though, because they're gonna say it's climate change. You know, they're gonna forget that it's fucking summer, and summer is usually hot. So I'm just saying. Let's see. I don't know if something happened earlier. I went to go check something on my interwebs. I came back and my boy Kramer was gone, and I think Cameron was gone. So no way liberals are gonna win. That's what we thought 4 years ago. You know what I mean? Granted, I will hold on to saying that if it had not been for the Rona, that Trump would have won. You know, the Rona is what definitely fucked us up. Let's see what the rest of the world is thinking about us regarding this. Hold on. Let's see, BBC.
Told Biden on Wednesday that they were having major money issues. And Biden did not have the support of the Democratic Party. You had Chuck Schumer, Nancy Pelosi, Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democratic leader.
That is who I think they're going to go with, is Hakeem Jeffries.
He was no
I
longer
was just saying that earlier, that Hakeem Jeffries is probably going to be the running mate that Kamala, if I was Kamala, or if I wanted to give Kamala a run for her money, I would go with Hakeem Jeffries. I'm just thinking, if I was a Democrat, that's who I would go for, being that he's like the it name right now. That's who they wanted for Speaker of the House on the Dems side. So he's got that name recognition. And just like with Obama, the blacks will vote for him simply because he's black. You know what I mean? And yep, I'm saying that. I know I'm controversial with the shit that I say, but I keep it real. That's one thing about being on the gun line. We don't mix our words or try to sugarcoat. The reality would be that just like Obama won because he was black and all the blacks voted for him because he was black, and the whites that voted for him was out of white guilt. Same thing would happen with Hakeem. Hakeem would go ahead and I think give Trump a definite run for his money. If it was like Hakeem with, let's say, Kamala, that's probably would be the ticket right there. That's what I would choose if I was them. I actually would throw away fucking Kamala. It's true, and he's a Leo. Oh, fucking great. Of course. But yeah, dude, crazy, right? It is fucking crazy. Who's all out there with me? I know I got Doc K in here with me. Who else is out there? Don't be nervous. Don't be shy. Just tap on in, say what's crack-a-lacking, and hang out here with us. You know what I'm saying? We just hanging out here, chopping it up. I'll see Doc K here, and then later I'll see her over on another live that we both watch, whether it's going to be with Dubs or Gunner or both of them. You know what I'm saying? So y'all make sure y'all go check out, Gunner's Collective TV, and as well as Collective Clips, and make sure you also go tap in with Dub S, and that's DUBESS, and then he has like 3 other fucking channels. I can't remember them all. Just put in Dubs and you'll find them. So y'all go check them out. Let's see. I'll quit hijacking your channel. Much love. Hey, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for hanging out with me. That's the only way that eventually this is gonna grow and pop off. So thanks, Doc, for hanging out with me. Much love, and I'll catch you on the other over on the other chats. You know what I'm saying? You're definitely one of those real ones that hangs out and chills and chops it up with us. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and continue seeing what the BBC is gonna say. Pause.
Welcome at the top of the ticket, and that it would lead to historic losses up and down the ballot, and so that they were going to lose and have very major problems winning the House and the Senate. And so he did not want his legacy to be that you had the party revolt in the summer, and he just stayed on trucking, and then led to Donald Trump coming back into office, because he was so proud that he had defeated Trump in 2020 and that he had saved democracy.
You stole that election in 2020. Let's be real.
That he did not want to cause Trump be the reason that Trump came back in November.
How did the Democrats get back on the front foot then?
Biden couldn't even beat scares. There's no way he was going to beat
the Democratic Party
Trump
as well
this November.
Daniel, we appreciate you talking to us on a very busy night for you, for afternoon. Thank you very much, Daniel Lippman, White House reporter at Politico. Well, of course, as we have been hearing, a lot of pressure mounting on Joe Biden in recent weeks after that poor performance against Donald Trump in a televised debate in June, and also getting names wrong.
White girl's always my kryptonite.
He called President Zelensky President Putin at the NATO summit, and also calling Kamala Harris Vice President Trump. So let's look back on how we got here. Our North America editor, Sarah Smith, looks at the background.
When I ran for president 4 years ago, I said we're in a battle for the...
I don't want to hear all your your bullshit right now, Joe. I had to deal with it for 4 fucking years. I don't want to deal with that shit again. All right, let's see what else we got. Who else is there? Fun. I need you. All right, let's see. Biden drops out. Yep. All right. Come on, y'all. Whoever's all up in here, I appreciate y'all tapping in. What do y'all want to talk about, man? Hit me up. Hit me up. Hit me up. I will tell it like it is. That's just the way that I am. News. There we go. Let's see. Trump's granddaughter Kai. He is fighting for America. Oh, we already saw all this. Yo. Show me the lives. You know what? I'm gonna go back to something here. Let's go back to talking about now that he's out, officially out of the race. Yeah, he's still president. Got it. But right now is the best time for any of our adversaries to start planning what they're to start planning something, some kind of a, I don't know, some kind of threat to us during our transition phase. I think that's what I would personally do, but I don't know. What's CNN saying? Democrats scramble to find a nominee for the presidential race. But I thought, well, he's endorsed Kamala. That doesn't mean that he's going to give it to her. Oh, shit, I just thought about that. That's right. Just because he's endorsing her doesn't mean that she automatically gets the fucking nomination then, right? Damn. I just thought about that. Well, at least we know that Biden's pull-out game isn't weak. These fools ever going to talk, or am I just sitting here watching Reuters? What's this agenda-free TV?
Talked about as potential candidates if Biden drops out. So I'm going to be looking to see what these people are saying. See if we get any comments from them.
I'm thinking that.
Oh, Roy Cooper posted. Hey, it's Roy Cooper from North Carolina. Check this out.
That's not for y'all. That's
he just posted. Let's show you what he had to say.
So I'm thinking that
he is a Democrat,
if they do have,
Roy Cooper says,
President
Biden has cemented his place among our nation's finest presidents.
Gavin Newsom,
when our democracy faced danger, President Biden stood strong as the rarest type of leader who could help us forge ahead with a vision to repair our country's soul.
I was going to say Hakeem.
Able to pass
probably have
legislation
the best
that will benefit
chance.
our economy, our
because honestly, nobody likes Kamala. I don't even think Democrats like Kamala. I think they like her because they're forced to like her.
President Biden, my friend,
but
I thank him
she's
from the
hot
bottom
garbage.
of my heart for our service to our great nation. So, no word yet from statement from Democratic North Carolina.
All right, fellas. I think that's enough of this. I've been here for an hour and 10 minutes now. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. Doc, Kramer, Cameron, whoever tapped in that didn't tap in, I appreciate y'all coming through. This is going to be still I'm sure on the tubes of you and on the books of faces. Make sure y'all go follow me on Facebook, on the Gunline Podcast, or the Instagram on the Gunline Podcast. I think I even have a Twitter that I don't use. I just mainly watch it for the porn. And then let's go ahead and and I got the Talks of Tick, which again, that's on there as well. You guys want to get at me on the gunline at gmail.com. If you want to be a guest and hang out with me on the podcast and shoot the shit, on the gunline at gmail.com. I hope to catch y'all there, and I'll catch y'all next time on the Gunline. This has been a breaking news, word on the street. I don't even know what to say it is, but anyways, yeah, it was a word on the streets on the live. I'll catch y'all later. I'm out. God damn it.